Hello Sagittarius, Johnny Alchemy here. Thank you again for joining me on my channel. We are going to be doing your beginning of January tarot card reading. So I hope you've had a great start to your new year and everything has been going well. And just as a reminder, this is going to be a general reading. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't, all that good stuff. So let's see what we got for you. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about your past, both recent and long term. So here, very interesting, we got the Tower card. So here, if any of you have been going through any type of big changes in your life in the past, this could be something as far as 6 months, minimum, talking about major arcana. So any big changes really, it's showing that, you got the Six of Wands right underneath this one. So it really is saying that, this Tower moment may be coming to an end, or you may be victorious from it, whatever it may be. For some of you, it could be related to love or friendships, communities of some kind, because we got the Six of Cups and we got the Three of Cups, reversed. So here, could be talking about love, Six of Cups right here, if you had to end a relationship of some kind, if you had to leave a partner behind or even just a friend. Again, that could even be the Three of Cups right here, if you had to leave certain social circles behind, because maybe they just, you don't get along with them anymore, or you've grown apart in some way, So here, it could be either romantic or platonic or both for some of you, But really, it's talking about a big shakeup in that realm of the emotions and your relationships, if that makes sense. So now let's move forward to the present moment. So as I said, we have that Six of Wands here reversed right underneath that Tower card. So here it's really talking about a personal victory. Also talking about you don't need validation from other people. So I can kind of see how that could play in with that three and Six of Cups. If you did have to separate from partners and friends or family, whatever it is, it really is a big move of doing things on your own, where you don't need their validation, you don't need their respect, you don't need their understanding to live your life, So I have a feeling for some of you, if that does resonate, I can totally see that as a big reason why, because this is right underneath that Tower. Also, it's in the center of your spread, so there's something here telling me that this is a big journey about you, about something that you feel very passionate about, that you feel very strong about, that you need to see happen, And it's funny because all the cards from here on out, from the present to the future and things to watch out for, are all in the reversed. So it's interesting to see, because I see all reversals as something interesting. I take it a certain way. So now moving forward. Finally, we got, what was it? Well, we got two things. We got the Knight of Wands right here as well. Again, very similar imagery as the Knight of Six of Wands, rather. So the Knight of Wands, Six of Wands, there's a certain journey that you had to go through, I have a feeling for some of you, this lands right underneath the Six of Cups right here. So if you had to separate from a romantic relationship, especially, this is telling me that, you really had to leave, and it maybe wasn't easy. It was could have been messy, could have been argumentative, or anything like that. But if you had to leave that, I think it really took a certain nerve, and it took, a certain courage or bravery to do so. Talking about the fire, element of fire with wands, rather. But, it's something that that you needed to do. That was ultimately the mission, that led to that, So we also got the Queen of Swords here. This lands right underneath the Three of Cups. So really it's telling me, that maybe you felt like, certain people in your life were just, you've learned things about them, you've learned to observe them, to get to know them in a certain way, and you've learned that some of them just are not worth them being that close to you or part of your life. The Queen of Swords is all about having clarity about something, you know, but also at the same time, she uses that sword to guide and to protect and to draw boundaries, you know. So here, you know, I love seeing the Queen of Swords because she does have her hand out that she's ready to receive, but she also, there's a certain air of caution about her with that sword in the other hand. So I have a feeling for some of you, you know, if you had to cut ties with friends or family, community, whatever it may be, it really is stemming from that, a place of, you know, just protecting yourself and also preservation, you know, making sure that you are taken care of first and that you're not just wanting to be a people pleaser, if that makes sense. Again, I look back to that Six of Wands. No validation needed from anyone, really. So let's talk about things to look forward to and things to consider for this month as well. So we got 2 wands and we got more swords. It's really wands and swords talking about this present and future. So, okay, so we got the page of swords right here underneath that 6 of wands. So really it's saying here that, you know, by going through this journey of that you needed to go through, where you had to probably go through it alone, you know, and it's more of a personal victory than something that was celebrated by your loved ones, if that makes sense. You know, by going through that, you're able to get a new sense of truth. You're able to learn something new about yourself and your surroundings that's ultimately going to help guide you and protect you, you know, the swords, you know. So really that belief system, not only, as I said, with that Queen of Swords, it gives you that air of caution of like who to trust and knowing who to not trust, knowing who you could tell information to, etc., knowing who you can share good news with as well. You know, so that's something that ultimately that I think that's something you'll learn by going through this, knowing who your friends are and knowing which ones to keep at a distance or where to keep them in your perimeter. We also got the 8 of Wands here in reverse. This comes right underneath the Knight of Wands. So really, I think for some of you, also, you know, if you did have to leave a relationship behind, it may be hard for you to understand where it is you want to move forward to, you know. I think that Knight of Wands is also saying, you know, you may be unsure about where to move on to, you know, where is it that you're going? You know, what purpose do you have now without this person or relationship in your life, or this friend even, you know, whatever it is. 8 of Wands suggests that as well. You know, they're saying that there's energy being built up, maybe a certain restlessness of some kind, you know, from this uncertainty. So it's saying to really maybe dream a little bit, you know, to really think about where it is you want to be heading, where you want to channel that energy. You know, it could be something creative. It could be something just taking a trip. It could be something making a change in your life, big or small. You know, it could just be trying out a new restaurant or going on a hike somewhere, trying a new trail, you know, taking a random day trip, you know, to some nearby town that's maybe 2 hours away. You know, it's really just, you know, really just asking you to play and experiment with life. Now that you don't have that person doesn't mean life ends. It's saying now life has said, come play with me instead, you know. So really it's saying, you know, like if there is any pent-up energy or restless energy, for those of you that resonate with that, it's really saying to find a good way to channel it, you know. And life is saying really just channel it by doing stuff out there, you know, by having fun, you know, trying a little variety in life as well, you know. So we also got the 3 of Wands here as well in the reverse. This is right underneath the Queen of Swords. So again, I think this relates more to the rest of your wands, really. This is really saying, you know, the 3 of Wands is like, you know, they've made progress on their journey. Now they're just taking a moment to take everything in, to look backwards, to look forwards, and to see where they want to be heading. You know, that 3 of Wands, they're able to expand even more so, to continue their journey, even though things happen like that Tower moment, whatever that may be to you. But it doesn't mean that the journey stops or the journey ends, you know. So really it's saying, you know, maybe you need to take a breather. Maybe you needed to collect yourself and to figure out what it is that you truly want from big changes in your life. But now it's time for you to choose. You know, there's a lot of energy here with all these wands, and there's it's just waiting to be used, waiting to be utilized, you know. So really I think it's just finding that mental clarity of where you see yourself in the future, or what it is that you want to be channeling this energy into. Love it. We got the King of Cups. We got the Princess of Wands. We got the Hanged Man. Okay. So it's funny to see here. I mean, as I said, the King of Cups, this came in terms of the past where all your cups are. You had the 3 and 6 of Cups as well. So even though there are big changes that did happen for some of you that does resonate with that, understand that, you know, it's really ultimately here to help you learn how to control your emotions, how to have power over your emotions. You know, emotions and moods are such a fickle thing sometimes, but doesn't mean they're not powerful. That they can sway us into ways of thinking or ways of acting. Very, very true. You know, I know that for my own stories. But basically, you know, the things happen that they do because it's just to help you become more aware of your emotions and knowing how to respond to them correctly in order to keep balance in your life. So this King of Cups, I have a feeling with that Tower moment, with anything emotional you had to, that had a big upheaval or had to get rid of some kind, you know, it really is there to bring you back to power and center of your own emotional health and realm. We got the Page of Wands here. So again, with all these wands, and really there's a lot of planning and a lot of desire for some of you to really get out there and start using this energy toward a certain goal. The Princess of Wands here really is like the Page of Wands, is really saying, you know, it's time to learn something new. You're ready for an adventure, you know, so just try out something new, try out a passion, try out a hobby. You know, try out anything. You know, it's the start of a new year. There were a lot of readings before here that talked about resolutions, like New Year's resolutions. That could be something for you to take on as well. So just try, and I think the life is really saying, just experiment, you know, use this energy to figure out what you want to do by just doing it all, you know, and have fun while doing it, because you're the one, as I said, with that Six of Wands, this is a journey about you without the validation of anyone else. So do it with passion, do it with enthusiasm. Finally, we got the Hanged Man. Again, with all... Okay, that was weird. Okay, so as I said, your present and your future were all reversed. Hanged Man, even though he's upright, reversed, you know? So really, this is telling me something here with this, that you know, this is a process that maybe is taking a while, you know, to resolve itself, or to become clear, if that makes sense. But maybe you need to go through this slowing down process. Because as you know, Sagittarius, you know, with fire, you like to be all over the place. You know, you like to experiment, you like to do all this stuff. You know, I get that, you know. But I have a feeling with all of these being in reverse, and then getting the Hanged Man, who is just reversed, even the upright, you know, I think it's saying, like, you know, there is a certain pause that needs to happen so that you can reflect on certain things maybe. And you need to be clear on what it is that you want, or where you want to be spending this energy, you know, because otherwise it could be being very spontaneous, doing a bunch of things, and ultimately leads you nowhere but exhausted, you know, and I don't think anyone would want that of themselves. So really, I have a feeling here, like, you know, with all the swords and the wands, wind feeds fire, you know, so use your wisdom, use your clarity, use what things that you've learned, your knowledge, in order to feed your fire, to give purpose to your fire, to focus your fire, if that makes sense. Keep on picking up the wrong stacks. Okay, here we go. Okay, so let's pull out some more. Miracle, love to see that. Light, love to see that with all those fire. Yes, union, okay. So here, Miracle, this comes in the same line as that Tower card. So again, when something is destroyed, it gives the opportunity for new things to begin. That's the miracle of life. Can't happen without something dying or ending. You know, that's just the way it works. So a new day is rising for you. You know, the night or dark night of the soul that you may have had to go through a big change, slowly coming to an end, and a new miracle of a new day is on its way. Light, very similar to that miracle card. As I said, you know, it's our responsibility to turn the darkest moments of our life into light, you know, into positivity, into something beneficial, turning pain or despair or loss into wisdom and lessons, you know. So that's what I always feel like. There's a transmutation process, a healing process for some of you from that Tower moment, whatever it may have been, where you have turned your darkest moment into something of light. Finally, we got union. Love to see this here. You know, I have a feeling here it's not really talking about anything romantic. You know, I think for some of you who this does resonate so far with, I think romance is the last thing you're interested in, if that's something you had to let go of at this moment, especially if it is something recent, or if it's something that is still deep-seated. But the union, as I said, is between your dark and light. That's what I really feel like. It is between your shadow self, your shadow, and your highest self, your light, you know? So I think here it's really bringing that into balance, you know, and not letting one take over the other, because that just doesn't exist. We need both, you know, in order for them to define one another. So that's kind of what I see with that. And let's pull out one last card to see what we got. Soulcraft. Interesting. I never gotten that one before. I have a feeling for some of you, if this does make sense, you know, with all this fire energy and like all of it reversed and is just ready to express itself, you know, for some of you who are very talented with your hands, you know, soul craft, I have a feeling for some of you, crafting of any kind could be something for you to consider, you know, creating things, you know, even just something as simple as drawing, painting, that's crafting, you know, but using, you know, but in the art world, you know, those of you who like to build things, those of you who actually like DIY crafts, anyone who likes carpentry, furniture making, you know, anything creative like that. I think here that is really, that I think is really, that is really synchronistic to that, just really saying, if you have a hobby that's geared toward crafting of any kind, even something creative in the arts, just go for it. You know, you have nothing to lose. I mean, honestly, it's all, you're just gonna, you have everything to gain because you're not gonna lose anything from it. You're just gonna be practicing your art, practicing your craft, whatever it is. So I think here, that's something to consider. That's a weird one. I've never gotten that card before from that deck. So really, I think your soul is really asking you to craft something, you know, craft whatever it is that you want to channel this into. I know that's still very general, but I think something working with your hands and something where you are physically, tangibly touching something and manipulating it in some way to create something brand new, you know, I think that could be something along those lines. So again, that's kind of what I see for the beginning of January for some of you. Moving on, and now you have a lot of built up energy that's waiting to be spent, you know, and I think you will figure out what that is. And if crafting of any kind resonates with some of you, go for it. Start of a new year, might as well just play with it like a blank slate, you know. So that's kind of what I see. If this did resonate with you, don't forget to hit that like button, leave me a comment. I love hearing comments from you guys, and do not forget to subscribe if you haven't, so we can stay in touch for future readings. Thank you for all of those who have subscribed for the month of December. It was such a nice surprise, and I want to thank all of you. That's all I have for you right now, but I will have more very soon. I will see you next time, and thanks again for watching. Goodbye.